All right, I'm not happy about this one. DDG and Halle Bailey. Oh my God, they're both alleged abuse. Now, again, I'm catching up on things I didn't talk about because I've been all over the place, but these are topics that I really, really wanted to cover. Halle Bailey and DDG, both people who are friends to the company because Haley's been to our award show when we honored Chloe. Chloe's been on the show, and DDG has been on our show, and we really like both of them. And look, I'm not going to get in the middle of their stuff personally because there's a baby involved. And anyway, they're back in the headlines and things are just getting messy. Back in October of 2024, you remember they split. And in March 2025, when we last spoke of the couple as DDG accused Halle of gatekeeping their son Halo and possibly facing a custody battle. Well, in May, Halle filed a restraining order against DDG, claiming that he attacked her in January over an argument over their visitation schedule for their son. In a police report, Halle said as she secured a crying Halo into his car seat, DDG allegedly repeatedly yelled at her, "Get out of my car, bitch." And she said things turned physical with DDG allegedly, I'm gonna push
Allegedly.
pulling her hair, slamming her face into the steering wheel, and chipping her tooth in the process. She shared this on social media. Let me show you some of the receipts that she's showing, saying this was the chip and these are the bruises that were caused. Now, they continued to drive to DDG's house where Halle explained to his family what happened. And she said they promised to look after Halo as she left emotionally shaken up and bruised on her arms. Now, in her restraining order against DDG, Halle asked to secure protection for both herself and her son. Meanwhile, DDG, his family, and his friends insist that he's innocent and it was Halle who used to put hands on him, resulting in him breaking up with her over abuse. Now, I was looking at all this go down and I was thinking, what could be driving all this? And my opinion is, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. They're in a fight for their child. They both have love for their child and they both have an idea of how their child should be raised and that they should be communicating because you remember Halle was mad at DDG for live streaming the son without her permission. And then that became a thing that they then worked through. Well, anyway, a judge has stepped in. The judge has now granted Halle temporary sole custody of Halo. Why? Because once a person says they've been abused, and once the person says that they have not only abused, but they have a solid home for the kid to be at, that person, and it's a mom, you're going to get the kid, at least here in California. Well, DDG is filing an emergency motion with receipts to prevent Halle from taking their son out of the country. Now, DDG alleges
Allegedly.
Halle attacked him, took his gun, and also threatened to harm herself in alleged text messages after she claimed to learn about him allegedly
Allegedly.
sleeping with Lala Baptiste, who claims that she and DDG are just strictly platonic friends. Here are the alleged DDG and Halle texts. Let me say these were all disturbing to watch. I don't like that we even have to report on it, but nonetheless, I have a job to do. Take a look. So these are text messages going on and on and on between Halle and DDG. Now, DDG is Daryl, that's in the blue, and she's in the allegedly, I'll say allegedly because, again, these are text messages that have been provided. I don't have the phone, so whatever. She goes on and says it's his fault, that he'll cry about it later. She begged for help. I don't have anyone. I'm actively suicidal and struggling. I've been running to the doctor every day for help, and you still play in my face. I won't make it to my birthday because of you. The conversations go on and on and on. I'm gonna let you read. No, go back. People can't read that fast. Go back. Okay, you guys can read this here. Basically, she's saying she doesn't have enough. She's had enough. She hates him. He's the most horrible person that she's ever met. She goes, I wish I didn't have to fight with you, but you continue to let me down. And openly flirt about, anyway, flirting with all these other women, but her, you hate me and want me to die. I want to die because of you. I will die because of you. And they go on and on and on. And then he says, I can't believe you're acting like this. You put your penis inside. Go back to the penis. You put your penis inside of her in Mexico. And that's the claim about Lala Baptiste. Okay, then move on to the next one. I'm not going to read all this. But basically, it's looking very suicidal. Okay, now, let me first start by saying that there's no joke here. There's no da-da-da. This is a sad thing to watch somebody the Little Mermaid, who we're in love with. And at my award show, I said we're never going to let anybody attack her, da-da-da. You know, it's sad to see these young people who once loved each other, who have a kid, who are both famous, go through such a public breakup in such a messy way. If these are the messages that she provided him, she filing court papers is going to require him to defend himself. So he then released the receipts that he know would get the internet talking, including us here. But now we know too much, don't we?
But I've said from the beginning we knew too much because he was putting it out. And I think that's part of the reason that he's in the situation he's in, where she's getting full custody, because she has been silent publicly in this whole ordeal. And I probably preparing herself for this,
But he's a
but
streamer.
again, like, I get you're a streamer, but when your kid is involved and you're trying to get custody of your kid and you know you're in a battle in a relationship, you got to be careful what you put on the internet. 'Cause it's gonna
But
be
he's
there.
a streamer.
Don't stream your private business.
He's a streamer. That's what you stream for.
Talk about what's going on in the news, your
Okay.
friends, talk about video games, talk about music.
When
talk
I
about,
used to be on an app called Bigo streaming, Rob hated Bigo. He hated it. It's too ghetto. It is about connecting. I'm thinking about streaming, by the way.
yeah, look,
Now.
I didn't hate Bigo. I hated the run it up, run it up, run it up.
But that's how you get paid.
Give me a dragon.
But that's how you get. It was a lot of that. Give me a dragon. Oh, I got a dragon. And me walking around. Me walking around the house with a crown. I was making 50,000 a month.
That was good.
Here's the deal. I get it, but like streaming is about being personal. If I stream, we're doing all the behind the scenes, all the who calls, all the who pops in, all the what ifs, the date, maybe not the dating. It's all there because that's what people want. You knew who you got with. I don't know that young love, that young fiery love. It's, it should never get physical, and it's sad that it did allegedly. But anyway, like Halle, DDG shared an image of the abuse that he alleged against his ex. And he alleges Halle stabbed him in the hand and bruised his arm. Take a look. These are cuts that he said that he got from her and scratches. And anyway, DDG's mom even accuses Halle of causing emotional distress by planning Apple AirTags to track DDG's every move. Now, after filing his own restraining order and seeking to prevent Halle from traveling with their son overseas, DDG has been denied all requests. Because the state don't really care about men.
I don't believe that's true.
The man has cuts on his hand and cuts on his arm saying she did it. He has text messages of all of her behavior that appears to look consistent with somebody who's really emotionally distraught. We don't know what caused it. Something clearly caused it. Why would he not be able to have his son?
I don't. Again, we're just getting the information that's being put in front of us. We don't know what's been put in front of the court. So that's why we don't know. But I don't want to speculate that the court is just not giving him custody because he's a man.
I'm not going to speculate that the court's not doing that. I'm not going to speculate she's wrong. I'm not going to speculate he's beaten her. I'm not going to speculate that she cut him. All I'm going to say is please take us out the group chat.
Yes, I don't want to be in a group chat.
Please, let's just send peace and love. And I want to send more peace and love to both of you. I love both of you. I want you both to be okay. I want the kid to be okay. Chloe's been silent. Thank you, Chloe, for being silent.
Yes.
I know you're probably helping your sister from behind the scenes because you guys are connected like this. By the way, I know Burner Boy is banging the hell out of Chloe. Burner Boy is tearing that ass up. Chloe is getting that good sex from that man, that big old African man. And so she's somewhere just saying, leave me in peace while he tears me to pieces. Okay, well, look, I'm sending love to all of you. I want this to be over. Hey, Halo. Halo. Ain't that what Beyonce said? Anyway, bye.